November 12th brings the evil twin to yesterday's warm, humid conditions. The howl of a 30-mile-per-hour wind straight out of the Canadian prairies makes for a depressing alarm clock. But as Aaron showed us yesterday, during the rut, the most important thing you can do to assure success is just to be out there. Jon Lewis toughs out the day and heads to a small plot where Brett Joy killed his buck just 5 days before.
It's November 12th, and Mike and I came back to this poor man plot that Brett just killed a buck in about a week ago. And as you can tell, it is extremely windy. I don't know if this was a good decision or not, but I guess you can't kill him from the couch. So we got in here pretty clean this morning, snuck down this path. The river's really high, so we can't really canoe through there. We're gonna try and stick it out here as long as we can, but we're just pretty much hoping for one buck to cruise by, and hopefully it's the right one. So we're gonna sit tight, try to stay warm, and we'll see what happens.
"50 miles to the south, Paul Marshall and Scott Reinman are fighting the same strong wind.
It's November 12th, and Paul and I got a real windy day. It's steady wind, 25 to 28 miles per hour, gusting to 50. We ended up coming down here in this draw. We're deep down in here. We got a big hillside that kind of protects us from the wind, so it's not really too bad. So we're gonna sit in here probably all day. If the wind doesn't get any worse, and see what comes through. It's a real thick in front of me, so we're hoping deer will follow and transition through this area. Bucks will today, looking for a hot doe.
There's a deer right here, Mike. It's a buck, it's a buck. It's a good one. It's making a scrape on that tree. Here he comes, Mike. He's gonna come right into the plot here. I think I hit him low, man. He was bleeding. I don't know. It is windy as all get out, and he came right out. I don't know if I got something. I got maybe liver. I definitely hit him low.
Unsure about the quality of his hit, John feels a tightening knot growing in his stomach, but things are even rougher in Missouri.
Scott, you gonna be able to make it, buddy?
Yeah.
The Frigid Forage plot screen is a revolutionary product that allows you to plant something in the summer that creates a man-made screen for going to and from your tree stand locations without the deer being able to see you. It also gives you a way that you can isolate certain parts of your property to give more privacy. So there's lots of ways you can use plot screen, but most importantly, this is one thing that you can do that you can plant in the summer that will allow you to get to and from tree stands that otherwise might be really challenging to hunt. One of the main reasons that we use ground blinds in the first place, well, there's a number of reasons. I mean, odor control, where you're locking in your scent, staying away from the sight line of the deer, but also, you know, we'll admit that we love the comfort factor that comes from being in these blinds. Having a comfortable chair is a big part of that. The redneck chairs are perfect from that standpoint. They're very comfortable, but they're also very functional. The seat spins, which allows you to pivot to get a shot out of any of the windows, which allows you to hunt the blind both comfortably and very effectively. I always detach my fused quiver once I get to the stand or blind, but some of the hunters in our group prefer to leave them on. Fused quivers are easily detachable for guys like me, but they are light and lock solidly in place for those who prefer not to take them off. They also feature Fuse's stealth dampening system to reduce vibration.
Scott, you gonna be able to make it, buddy?
Yeah.
My shooter, Scott, is not feeling well this morning. He is down and out, man. He's been puking out of the stand and everything, so we're gonna try to hang in here as long as we can, but probably gonna have to get out eventually. He's just not feeling that well, but I'm gonna keep an eye out for the deer because he's pretty much got his head between his legs, not paying attention, and just had a nice buck come by not too long ago, so we'll see what happens the rest of the morning until Scott just can't take it anymore. Scott, there's a big buck up there in the draw. You see him? Where? You're gonna have to grunt at him. Can you do it or not? Got him, dude.
Man, I wish I'd get more excited if I was sick or a dog. That's the biggest buck on the property. Paul calls him the 298 buck. I guess miracles do happen. I've been puking all morning off the stand, just sicker than a dog. No energy, and he stopped him. I guessed him at 35. I got no rangefinder. So I hit him good. I think a little bit back, so.
Shot my buck, bro.
I wish I could be more excited.
Yeah, our first Missouri deer. Gonna have to give him some time.
Being sick in the tree is no fun and can actually be dangerous. Safety is the most important aspect of any hunt. Each time I stepped back on the ground after a tree stand hunt, I used to say, I cheated death another day. But since I started using Muddy's Safeguard safety harness and their SafeLine climbing rope system, I don't have to say that anymore. I am confident each time I leave the ground that I will come back down under my own power. Scott and Paul were hunting in a wide open tree with no foliage or backdrop to cover them. Any camouflage will work when you can hide behind the cover. However, when you have to hide in front of it, you need a pattern that truly matches your setting. Both hunters were wearing Realtree and the deer never saw them. Scott had to rotate in the tree to get the shot. and he had branches all around him. A short, compact bow like the Hoyt carbon spider he was carrying is a definite asset in a situation like this. Every time I went to the ground blind last season, I carried my ozonics unit. The company wasn't paying me to do this. I was doing it because it made a significant difference in the way the deer reacted to my presence. I can't remember one time that a deer downwind of the blind ever noticed human odor when I was using the ozonics. So for ozonics to work this well under such tough conditions, I quickly became a believer in this company's ozone technology.
Well, we just got out of the stand. We're going to creep up the edge of this little plot, see what kind of blood's there, and most likely we're going to back out on this deer. It's just on a small property like this, it's not worth bumping them, but depending on what we got, we'll decide our next move. But let's go see what we got for blood here. No way. He's dead, man. He's lying right over there. He didn't even go 60 yards.
No way.
He's dead. I can see his ear. That's the 9. That's him. Well, we finally got him back to the poor man plot. We've been putting in a lot of time on this small 40-acre property. And actually, not even a week ago, Brett Joy was out here from New Hampshire. He drew a tag this year, and this was a property that we've been helping him scout and get prepped up for his season, and he killed one of our hit list bucks right here, right at this spot, not even a week ago. It's a bulletproof spot, so these bucks will run the edge of this river, scent checking all this river bottom and these bedding areas, and that's exactly what both of these deer did. This guy came in on a mission. He came in, he made a scrape, and that's honestly what we've seen almost every deer do that comes through this plot. He read the script, he did exactly what we had hoped and exactly what we set that stand and what we planned this food plot for. But before I wrap up, I wanted to go over the shot real quick. Right when I let that arrow go, my heart kind of sunk, my stomach turned. The deer was 38 yards, and I knew he was going to duck. I had to stop him, so I knew he was going to drop a lot. He was quartering away hard enough that arrow hit low, but it went all the way through and came out his offside shoulder right through his heart. So I said to Mike, we're going to creep up this edge and just kind of scan this bedding area with my binoculars on our way out, and somehow I just caught a glimpse of his white ear, and I pulled the binos up and I could see his rack sitting there. So it worked out perfect. This is the biggest buck I've ever shot, and we have just had an unbelievable, awesome season on this little 40-acre property, and I couldn't be happier.
It's been about an hour since Scott shot this deer. He's completely wiped out, but I gotta find this arrow because that's gonna tell us a lot about this, what we're gonna do from here on out. So I told Scott that he needed to suck it up and at least hold the camera. So I replayed the footage, figured out the deer was standing about right here. So what I'm gonna do, the arrow should be, I don't know, 5-6 feet up in this grass. So I'm just gonna work my way back and forth to find this thing, and once I find it, we'll see what it says to us. Looks good, dude. That looks good. I played the footage back in slow motion. Scott wasn't really sure where he hit him. It was the right height, but it was just back a little bit, and I thought we caught back the lungs and maybe the liver. And from the looks of this, we probably got both. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm gonna go ahead and call my dad and get him over here to help me, because I don't know how much help Scott's gonna be, but hopefully he'll get excited once we find this monster. There he is, up at the top of the hill. Here he is. I don't know. I've been feeling down and sick and stuff all this morning, but I'll tell you one thing.
matter how sick I am, this one's put a smile on my face. It's been tough out here. We haven't been seeing a lot of rutting activity, but it's real windy this morning. So Paul elected to go down to the bottom field that we had down here, the lowest point. Basically the deer are down here. It's just a big bedding area we're in right now, actually. But he just was out cruising. Got in a grunt call, hammered him twice with the grunt call, and Paul was looking at him through the video camera, and he stopped, looked our way, busted out of the brush and came up on us. And of course I forgot my Nikon rangefinder, but I guesstimated it at 35 yards, and it might have been closer to 40, but he's down. That's all that matters. And Paul and I are one or two happy guys.
The first step in patterning a buck is to know he's there. Paul and Scott used trophy rocks extensively throughout the summer to get pictures of bucks on the new farm. The big 8 that Scott shot was using one of these mineral sites when the hunters first started getting photos of him. Trail cameras have become a super important part of our hunting strategy now. On the new Muddy trail cameras, we have fast trigger speeds, time-lapse mode on the ProCam 12, and very crisp, sharp nighttime images. So you can tell what you're looking at. These are all factors that help us to better identify and pattern the bucks that we're hunting. The Shark dual caliper release from Scott Archery is one of the most popular releases among our group of hunters. This release is highly adjustable. This is important because being able to adjust the length of the stem not only lets you fine-tune it for your hand size, but also allows you to pull the release up so that you can contact the trigger further into your index finger. This makes it a lot easier to produce a surprise release that results in the most accurate shooting.
We use the Cabela's bow and rifle pack throughout the season, especially when we've got to pack in a ton of gear. The pack's design allows us to attach bulky items like a camera arm, rattling antlers, extra bow, without leaving behind all of our regular gear.
Windy days are often better than still days. You can get away with more noise and movement as you enter your stands undetected, and the deer tend to move well. While 30-mile-per-hour winds may be pushing the upper limit, November 12th will nonetheless go down in the books as another great day for us. Scott took his first buck, and a great one, on the new Missouri farm. And Jon shot a dandy in the same food plot where Brett Joy shot his buck a few days before. As it turns out, Brett wasn't done hunting after filling his Iowa tag. Heading to Ohio, he was also on stand as the front blew through. I will leave you with the highlights from Brett's Ohio hunt as we cross another great day of rut hunting off the calendar.
Unbelievable.
It seems impossible that the action can stay this good, but the momentum of all these successes is on our side as we continue chasing November.